Good afternoon. I'm afraid this will be my last visit as a member of the Security Council, but we are proud of what we were able to achieve, and today we started the morning with finding unanimous support for a resolution we drafted together with Ivory Coast, which contained actually two cornerstones of Dutch foreign policy: the importance of the rule of law as part of peacekeeping operations. The improvement of peacekeeping operations is one of our important aims. Secretary General Guterres asked us to take the lead in this field, and we are convinced that peacekeeping operations can be only successful if they are not only a military operation, but also lay the foundations for nation building, building a society where the rule of law is firmly implemented. This afternoon there will be a vote on the extension of the mandate for humanitarian aid for Syria, which is of course still very much needed, and we hope there will be support to make this humanitarian aid possible also in the year to come.
Ambassador, any reaction to what's been going on in Sweden and the accomplishments there? And it should come here for a resolution in the Security Council. Has the Council begun discussing what will be in this Yemen resolution?
Well, of course, the developments in Sweden are a very bright spot in a time where international cooperation is under such pressure. Just a couple of months ago, the situation in Yemen seemed actually hopeless, and it is very good news that both parties are on the negotiating table now, apparently willing to agree on a ceasefire. And I think once this has been achieved, the first thing that should be realized is make it possible for humanitarian aid to enter the country, to provide food, to provide medicine. But I'm very glad that even in those difficult days for multilateral cooperation, it seems finally possible to reach an agreement there.
Mr. Minister, you talk about difficult days for multilateral cooperation. Could I ask you to look back at your year on the Council and the Netherlands' experience being on the Council? Can I ask you how effective you think the Council is when you look at files like Syria, like Israel, Palestine, the use of the veto? At the end of this, do you find yourself frustrated with the Security Council?
No. Of course, it is easy to mention the subjects where we couldn't make any progress. At the same time, we just discussed Yemen, and I think Yemen clearly shows that it is important to always keep hope and to maintain a multilateral organization like the UN Security Council, because sooner or later the day may arrive that progress is possible. Well, during our membership we could realize a number of steps forwards. I think about the sanctions that are now implied on human traffickers in Libya, a number of resolutions that were agreed on, like hunger being used as a weapon of war. I'm proud that we could hand over our passenger name recognition system that we use in the Netherlands for tracking terrorist suspects at the border, that we could hand it over to the United Nations, so other countries can use it. I visited Nigeria recently and they were very happy to use it. So these are just a few examples of little steps making international cooperation useful. So I think there's no reason to be hopeless. But that even in those difficult days it is worthwhile to invest in the Security Council, to be ready whenever there is a window of opportunity.
Are you on the same page with the United States on those issues, especially regarding the need of the Security Council and the multilateral approaches in the world?
Well, we cooperated very well with the United States, and I'm very well aware of the debate taking place here. But Luckily, the United Nations is very engaged in cooperating here in the Security Council. And I'm convinced it's still in the interest of every country, large or small, to have this only place in the world where we can, in the end, take these kinds of decisions.
Mr. Foreign Minister, today the Security Council had consultations about the tunnels in northern Israel from Lebanon, from Hezbollah. Do you think that the Security Council should intervene in that, have a resolution, or any statement on that?
I will not be involved in those discussions myself, but of course any threat to the security of a member state should be taken seriously, and tunnels aimed at terrorist use are a threat to the security of a member state.
Okay, thank you. Yes, we go back.